Welcome to another episode of Creating Magic. I'm Dani.
And I'm Paula.
And today we are coming back to you with Crown of Midnight, right?
Yes.
Crown of Midnight in the Throne of Glass series, book 2 in our reading order.
Okay, and today we are joined by our official, now we can't even call him ACOTAR correspondent. He is our official Mouseverse correspondent, Angel. And we're joined again by Shanell, who is joining us on this journey as well. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves, even though by now everybody
At
who's
this
listening
point,
should
we
know you
know who
guys.
you are.
Okay.
Why don't you introduce yourself by also including your reaction to Crown of Midnight?
Oh, I like that.
So my name's Angel. Instagram handle is at Wizard of Main Street. And my pronouns are he, him. And my reaction to Crown of Midnight is I really loved it. Great, like, when things get twisty and turny and surprise, those are great. So I love those kinds of surprises, like things you may not expect. I loved this book a lot more than the first one. And so yeah, so I'm hooked. I'm ready to keep reading.
My name is Shanell, and my Instagram handle and my handle basically across all platforms is Fandom Yell. And I love this story. I am team Kale, whatever you want to call
Hello.
it. I really enjoyed his relationship with Selena in this book and just like other people. What a twist, this book. What a twist. So yeah, I'm really excited to talk about it. And my pronouns, because it's Pride Month, everybody.
Yeah.
She, her. So shout out to everyone celebrating Pride.
Paula, what were your reactions to book 2?
I also enjoyed this book. I inhaled this book. I think I finished it in less than a week. I just couldn't stop because it really started off. You were going in, she's assassinating people. You like go in and there's already like stuff happening, which I think that is the key for me to want to keep reading a book, is that it has to start off like that. And I think that might be why I have so much trouble with first books in a series is because they're not like that, right? Because you're building up this world or whatever. So for me, like once there's things happening and I want to know what's going to happen next, that drives me to want to finish the book. And like Angel said, there's a lot of twists. I had like a lot of theories at the beginning. I think only one of my, I don't know if it's theory, but I think only one of my things was correct.
Which one?
The that she is Aelin.
I don't know. You weren't very trusting of Archer either, or Arthur.
Yeah, that's true. But I kept going like back and forth. I was like, wait, is he good or is he bad? And then the Nehemia thing, like I was very, like from the beginning, I still doubt Selena's assassin skills. I don't think she's a very good assassin, at least not a secretive one. Maybe she's like good at like killing people, but you're probably not good at keeping it on the DL.
Yeah.
Because Homegirl told everybody.
Yeah.
She posted that shit on Twitter.
Yeah, she would. She'd be like, here, got another one.
Got another one.
I just feel like what Paula's saying is true. I don't think she's a good assassin in the sense that she's like sneaky.
I don't think assassins are meant to be sneaky. I think they're just supposed to off people.
But she doesn't have that low-key demeanor I would think of an assassin to have. Like, she's walking in that room. She's letting it be known, like, I can beat you up. I can kill you. I'm going to do this to you. Like,
she has a reputation. Like, I don't think that makes her bad. Like, she's not a spy.
Well, I don't know. And she's too...
I don't know. I guess if I was an assassin...
Yeah.
I wouldn't be telling everybody.
Why? No one's coming after you. They know you're an assassin.
I guess. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I just felt
I feel like she doesn't use common sense. That's my whole thing. Like,
but I think that's a maturity thing.
I think it's an age thing.
Yeah, I think she's a teenager basically. And
can I make a confession?
Okay.
I said a spoiler in one of the ACOTAR podcasts.
You did? Oh my God, I'm
Maddie
gonna have to go
caught
back and
it.
listen.
What is
Maddie
it?
caught it. We were talking about the characters in all the series, and when I was talking about the main character of Throne of Glass, I said Aileen, not Selena.
Oh,
Is it Aileen?
Aileen.
Aileen.
Kale,
I don't know. Okay, lol. That's his name from now on. I don't care. That's even
Either
how I wrote
way,
it in
I
my
did not
notes.
How'd
say
you write it? Wait, hold on.
Selena.
How'd you write it?
Halol. Challol.
Oh, Shalol.
Chalol.
I can't believe
Why?
that. I wouldn't have paid attention to that, Danny.
I didn't
Yeah.
Well,
catch
because
it.
we were in the middle of Akatar, so you guys hadn't started it yet, and Maddie
Right.
was listening them back to them, and because she's already read Throne of Glass series, she caught it, but no one else had brought it up, and she brought it up like weeks after we had that episode had released, but no one actually caught that I said the wrong
Well,
name.
what specifically did you say? Did you say the main character is Aelin or like
Yes, we were
you?
talking
Oh,
about
okay.
who the main characters are in all the books.
Okay, okay.
I did not
Well, I
catch
mean,
that.
well, to be fair, everybody reading in the first book was pretty much convinced Selena was royalty, fae,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like like when, and then in the first, what is it in this book in like chapter 5 or whenever she reaches Archer and she's like, oh, hey, what's up? And she says, I'm gonna kill you. And he loses his stuff. He says like, oh no, we are part of a group that's trying to bring back the princess and royalty, and we have found Aelin. And then she like explicitly, Sarah J. Maas writes like, that's impossible. No way. Like, we know, like, it's her. Like, I was convinced right then and there that it was
Right
her.
there, you were convinced? I
Yeah,
wasn't.
like
That
it was like it
Well,
was very early on.
I kept just the way she was drawn to that room, the like random room, and the way that they kept helping her, like the queen kept coming back and helping her, and like I'm giving you this advice. I'm like, she's really helping her.
The
What's
line
going
about
on?
blood. The
Yep.
blood
I was like,
Yeah.
what's
line.
going on? Like she's coming back and using all this energy and like all this is going on. Like they really want her to survive for a reason. And then like it made sense.
He's a descendant.
Yep. What did we think about the witch?
Baba
Oh
Yellow.
my god.
Baba Yellowlegs.
Her description is very creepy.
Yes.
But that name, every time I read it, I laughed because I was like, this sounds like a Teletubby. Like, what is this?
So I listened to the audio on my way to work, and when it popped up, I was like, wait, let me go back 30 seconds and hear this again. Baba Yellowlegs? Like, does this mean something?
She's of the Yellowlegs tribe.
But Baba?
But still, Baba.
She's like the lead of the Yellowlegs.
She's important. She's important for her tribe.
Yeah.
She's
And
like
the way
the
that ended
elder.
was epic. I
But-
love that final moment between them, like that whole fight, and that I thought that was amazing.
We're talking about the fight between the witch and Selena. Is that what you
Yeah.
said? Yeah.
Mhm.
And to be clear, they have iron
And
teeth or
Teeth.
stuff
They're, like,
and
sharp.
nails. They have grills.
Yeah.
but they're like retractable, like sharks.
Oh, they're retractable.
I'm pretty sure they are.
I must have missed that one.
I
Okay.
thought it was just like out, like you're gonna.
Yeah,
be
I thought they
scared of
just
her.
had their. Yeah, I thought they coated their bones in iron like Wolverine.
I had to look up a picture. I didn't.
You looked it up?
Yes.
This is how Shanell spoils things for herself, by the way. She is always looking at fan art.
I have to have
Always.
a visual.
Never.
let
I
me
skip
tell
it
you.
all the time.
Let me tell all of you.
When you read things, do you see things in your head?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Just checking because I was curious if that's why you need visuals.
Yes, I do. All of you who are listening to this, look up Baba Yellowlegs.
Unless you want spoilers.
Yeah. Unless you want a spoiler, you haven't read it yet.
Wow.
This is a lot.
So
Yeah, that final moment was epic, and I just wanted to see the visuals in my head of these two like powerful beings, these two powerful like witch, and then obviously we know what she is now, a fae. fighting each other and like the glass and just all of this.
So
Excited.
I had a kind of clarification question. So is she Fae completely or just kind of like half Fae because of, or is she just full Fae?
Yeah, I don't know that either.
I don't know. I wasn't
And
clear.
Dani's not sure if she can answer it. Look at her face.
Have we learned about her heritage yet and how she survived since you know who she is?
How
No.
she
Okay.
survived
Well, all we know is that she was thrown from the window or whatever, and
into like a river, right?
into the river,
and then they
and
found her.
That's
Then-
where
Then I'm choosing to not answer that question because it will be made clear. You will understand more of her lineage.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because I
And
was
there was-
wondering the same thing because of her ears, like
Yeah.
that she didn't have like. But when she crosses over that little portal thing, she does, right?
Well, I wonder if, because if you think about it, remember
Recall,
what they
there is
said
no
is
magic in one of these lands.
that's what I said. It's not that there isn't magic, but that his weird key stifles magic or whatever. Use the power of the weird key to suppress magic.
The word key.
Word key.
The weird key, yes.
The weird keys.
The weird keys. The weird keys and the weird gates.
We should do an episode where we say how we think things are pronounced.
That's
All
your
of us.
Minnesota. That's
And
another Minnesota right there.
correct.
That's your Minnesota
We
right
should
there.
pull out Assassin's Blade and see if they have like the index of how to pronounce things, but I'll just show you the word and then you have to pronounce them without the
Like
key.
flashcards.
Yeah, do that. That would be funny. I really find it interesting that Dorian has magic and he's still trying to figure out, hey, how did I get
He's
this?
Elsa.
Am I the only one? You're not. You're not. Your dad's lying to you. Your dad's a liar.
You're not.
And literally too, right, Paula? Because he let
What?
her go. He let her go too.
He let her go.
But yeah, I thought he had when I noticed the thing about the frost in his bed was the first sign, right? Then when he punched the wall, and made like the
He
ripple,
shattered it. He shattered the wall.
shattered it, and then the glass. I thought I was like, oh snap! Did he like freeze it? Like kind of like make it cold, and then so I thought it was like an ice thing, but it turns out it's just like he just has magic. Period. Like I thought it was like I thought it was a power, like a superpower. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was maybe ice, but I think there's more than just ice that he can conjure, control.
Danny's about to black screen us.
Yeah.
I like Dorian.
I'm still a
I'm
Kale
still
girly.
team Kale.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm still a Team Kale girl.
I'm not saying Dorian as in like team, like together. I just like the
But
character of Dorian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I have a question about
But
that.
I know
now
who
that,
ends up with who, so
but now
Ooh.
that we have like Kale knows Selena is royalty, and like this whole book is about him trying to decide. Even the first book was about deciding how much to trust her. And like, how do we feel about the fact that he's like still on this, he's still willing to serve this king that he knows is evil, but he's in love with her. Like I like Kale, but he's like,
But doesn't
I
at
don't know.
the end he agrees to like leave, right?
yeah, but to get her to safety, right?
Right.
And even in that line, she says like, "Oh, I would still choose you," and like when like you won't choose me, right? Because it's against his, like he's loyal to the king. Like who's he loyal to? Who's he loyal to? I don't know. He can't be loyal to both.
So my
That's
whole
my
thing
opinion.
was,
And
I
that's
had
what
told
he
Paula
decides.
once, I
Wait, what?
love Kale.
What was it Danny said? You did
and Kale needs to make a decision.
yeah, Kale needs to make a decision. He hasn't made a decision.
Go ahead, Shanell.
I told Paula the other day, I'm like, I love Kale, I'm Team Kale, but he needs to stay in his lane sometimes. Because it's just a little like the whole where she like obviously she was upset about Nehemia. She attacked him, like it triggered something in her. She was so angry, she scratched him. And the way that he handled that, I feel like I was just a little annoyed with that whole situation. Like you threw her in the dungeons. Like you couldn't handle the situation. You were scared. And I'm wondering why he was scared. Like, are you scared she's gonna attack you? Are you scared you have to like say something against the king? Are you scared you're gonna pick her, or are you picking yourself? Like, I was just kind of like, what's going on here?
I felt like he was like trying to protect her. He was like upset that she was in this situation and he really couldn't do anything about it. That's what I felt.
Do you think like trying to protect her from a decision, like if she had killed him, she would have been executed too, right?
Oh, I would think
Right.
so, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's what it was too, is just protecting her from I don't know, from a decision that I don't know, that she couldn't
I
come
don't
back
know.
from. That, you know what I mean? Like a one that she was gonna regret, maybe.
Yeah, something like she can't undo. Like this is-
Right.
and then the fact that he found out that would leave all of her belongings and everything to him, that was a lot. I was just like, wow, this girl really loves him. And I think he wasn't, I don't know if he was 100% sure if she did, because I feel like he's always questioning what's going on. But at that moment, I was like, hello, this girl loves you. And she's
I
literally,
love that she was like, the only reason it still says you is because there's too much work to change it. She's like, paperwork is not my thing. If not, I would have changed it already. But she was like, can I ask a question? This is like not really off topic. So when she gets caught, when she's in that, after she tells Archer that
In the
she's
library?
supposed to kill him, that she goes into like that office and finds the
Yeah.
book with the word mark, and she gets slashed with the knife with the Gloriella. One of the things for me was supposedly it caused like temporary paralysis. So like, what was the rush? If it's temporary, like, why do you need an antidote?
Well, because they would have found her there in the office
I don't know.
with
I
the
was
other
just
guy.
She'd been found in an
temporary.
office where she wasn't supposed to be with a bunch of people that'll probably kill her, and she would be left unable to defend herself because she would have been paralyzed.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, this is temporary. What's the big deal with the antidote? Like,
Right. And it was more so if she was paralyzed and he got a hold of her, I mean, she would have been screwed.
yeah.
So,
But she kills him. So she does kill that guy.
yeah. And
Kale, because I love the three of them. This triangle is Dorian telling Kale he knew that him and Selena like had this energy and vibe. Like, I knew you guys liked each other. And then when Kale goes, so then why did you even try? And he's like, hey, I had to try. Like, basically, he's like, I saw what was there, but it didn't hurt to try. Like, who knows? It could have led to something different. But the fact that he said that, I was just like, this, imagine your close friend saying that to you. I knew you liked each other, but I needed to try.
Hey, maybe you weren't for her.
What other new characters do we meet this book?
we met Roland.
Yeah.
Roland, who is
The
Dorian's cousin, who also possesses magic, like Lady Caltaine.
Yes.
And let's talk about okay, hold on. No.
He's like, ooh, no, wait. Why? Why wait?
Oh, well, okay. My question was,
Roland.
I was gonna ask something else, but I'll wait. Yeah, if you guys want to talk about Roland. What do you mean you don't know how you feel about Roland? Roland took Kale's girl. We hate him. No, just me?
I mean, maybe it's a cousin thing because Dorian.
What do you mean it's a cousin thing? Kale was in love with a girl, and Roland took her, like, and slept with her, and like, and I think it was even Kale walked in on them or something. Like, he found out. I can't remember. He did walk in on them, right? Like, I mean, the girl must have been a piece of trash too. If she was like, just like Selena said, like, oh well, if she left you for him, then you know where her priorities are or whatever. But Roland's a dick too.
How did you feel about the moment with Dorian and Baba Yellowlegs?
When he went to like talk to her?
Yeah, he was like, "Am I the only one? Like, is this possible?" Basically, and she's like, "No, there's no way."
Nobody. You're not special.
But I thought it was interesting that he was seeking the way that he was seeking answers for this because he's so, like he's distraught by it. Like, if my dad finds out I have magic, that's it. Like, my dad's gonna kill me.
Yeah. Anytime he described like the magic stuff happen, I only pictured Elsa. There was no that in my head, like
Yeah.
just that was he's Elsa for me. Like just until I get more information, he's Elsa.
Yeah. I mean, it all pans out to that, right? The ivy,
Yeah.
all of that. The royalty.
The doorknob, Mort,
Absolutely
the door
hilarious.
knocker.
I love
I
more.
love that guy.
I
I thought
love
about
all about this. All I think of whenever I see Mort is the door knocker from Alice in Wonderland.
the doorknob. Yeah,
He
that's what I thought
he
too.
was at first I was like, dude, you're like not helpful. Why are you here? And where were you in the last book?
He was annoyed with her.
He
Like,
explained where he was in the last
Yeah.
one.
But
He
I was
said,
just
"Shit,
like
you went through too much. I'm not going to scare you more."
but I loved his like he was like very sassy. He's definitely like
yeah.
the comedic relief in this book.
Yeah.
Like some of the things he says to her, like, well, you didn't ask the right questions. And
Yeah.
I was like,
It's true.
It really takes me back to the whole situation with Nehemia. Like, Mort knew what was going on. He's like, you're not just asking me the right things for me to tell you the truth. Or like the path that you need to go on. But Nehemia, that whole situation, I was shook when that happened. I was really shook when she found her and she ran into the room and saw like her closest friend, the way that she was. Like, it had me.
I was like, this has to be like a dream or some. I was like, she cannot be dead. She
Yeah,
cannot
that
be
was
dead.
a lot. It was a lot.
I was like,
I had
was
really
shocked.
hoped.
And I think for me, it was because they had that fight
Mhm.
right before, and I was like, oh no, why? Why didn't you make up right before? It's so selfish of you to die without like.
How dare you?
I had
How dare
hoped
you?
that it had been staged, that she had staged her own death or something. Like that's what I thought.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my gosh, no, she's dead. She's dead. And then and so I said, no, it's gotta be staged. I'm pretty sure she staged it. She knew, or we knew that there were threats against her life, and maybe she knew. Like Selena didn't know, and maybe nobody had told her, but maybe I think she might have known herself. And it's almost like I went back, and I think it was during your story highlights, Paula, when you were talking about this chapter was very short, and it was the conversation between
Nehemia and Elena.
and exactly. And they're like, I know what I have to do, but nobody's gonna bring her back from it. And she's like, well, let's hope we can do like that. She was talking about her own death. She was like, I need to die. That for her to like wake up, so to
Yeah.
speak. And I was like, oh my God, like it clicked for me.
Was.
Yeah. She knew who she was. So,
Yeah.
but I was wondering, this kind of brings me back to another question I wanted to ask about the thing in the clock tower or underneath the clock tower.
The thing that I
What?
thought for half the story was fucking Dorian's twin.
Yeah, that you thought was Dorian's twin. And I was like, I don't know. I thought it was Kane. But if you
I
read
thought
that
it was Kane as
description,
well. I thought it
Yeah.
was Kane.
if you read that description though, it said that that for some reason did he just choose not to attack anybody, because he had obviously found a way out already. Like Selena saw him within the first few chapters of the book, like roaming the library hallway.
Right.
But so it just chose not to attack anything, or what? Like what he said he couldn't attack. So was it Nehemia preventing him from attack? Like I couldn't decide.
Yeah, I don't know. But the minute I realized that like the clock tower was like, I was like, oh, this came around when Dorian was born. I was thinking they're hiding his magical twin. This is in my head. This was canon. Okay. I was like, this right
It's gonna
here is
happen.
where it's at. I was like, this was like the one theory that I was like, this has to be like his twin brother or something, like a sibling, because they kept like focusing on how human like this thing was. And I was like, and the clock tower was built when Dorian was born. So I was like, the dad is hiding him there, and that's what he's like running away for, like all the time. I was that in my head. That was it. I was like, I got this one.
Can we talk about how crazy it is that this thing was just walking around? There is no way I would walk around this castle. This
Can
Well,
we talk about how
he
crazy it
had
is that you
learned.
use your knife to look under a door and you see two green eyes and you're like, you know what? I need to find out what this is.
That's an assassin
like-
right there. That's
I
an
was like,
assassin.
absolutely not.
assassin's blade.
Well, it's
Danny's like, she made a face.
she made a face. She didn't
Well,
turn
that's
off
the
her
next
camera.
book.
That's the next book. It is the next book.
It was just a lot. I was like, I could not live here. I'm stressed out. Okay, this book stressed me out. It really did.
And it learned how to draw weird marks, right? Like it learned how to draw weird
You're
marks.
just not going to say
exit.
word mark, right? That's
Just
it.
Oh
saying
no,
You've
I'm
committed.
it's weird
The
mark. I've committed to
proper-
weird mark. I'm not gonna say word marks. I'm gonna
He's
say
like,
weird
I
marks.
refuse.
I might maybe by next book I'll learn how to say word marks, but right now it's weird marks. But it did, right? It did learn how to draw them. That's how it escaped.
Now
Like
I'm
it sounded like
I don't know.
when I remember reading, he's like, "Oh, well, I had been down here so long, I learned how to I knew how this worked and how to escape." But it's what I think was crazy is how many chambers there are to get to just that base.
Right, it
clock
was like
tower.
there was like 99, 66, 33, and I was
Right.
like, do these numbers mean something?
That's
They
what I kept
must.
thinking of
They
too.
must
Looking
mean
at Dani.
something. Yeah, they must mean something.
And it was
She's
so
like,
but-
random. The
Sometimes
It
they're
is.
just
random.
numbers.
Sometimes they're just numbers. I don't know. I'm in
Yeah, I don't
such
know.
a like
I kept
I don't
thinking of
know.
like
This is-
portals. I'm like, okay, when are
Yeah.
we gonna end up with the Illyrians? That's all I kept thinking of. When are they gonna pop in there? When are they gonna come out
he's
here?
like, get me my bat boys.
But that's all I kept thinking about. I'm like, there's obviously layers to this, right? Like they're introducing like portals. They're introducing like things can come in and out, like these word marks. So like the story is going somewhere with it, obviously. That's where I kept going.
And I thought for a moment before we learned about Archer's treachery, I thought the creature thing was the thing that had slain Nehemia, because we learn about the creature before we learn about Archer's. I don't know,
That
single
he
track
was,
mind. He was a
Yeah.
double, triple agent, his
yeah.
own agent.
And that was the thing is like at the beginning, I was like, he folded too quick. Like when she was like, "Oh, the king wants me to kill you," and he was like, "Cool, I'll leave, no problem. I'll follow you." And I was like, "This happened too quick. Está muy rápido." I was like, "No." And then when the whole thing with like Nehemia, I was like, "Wait a second, is are they working together? Like, what is are they good or bad?"
Yeah,
And then it went
that's
back.
why
I was like, I
confused at
can't.
the end. I was like, wait, he was not working with her. He was working against her, and he's the one that did all of this. Like that threw me. That was something I didn't expect at all.
Well, I think they were working together initially. No, they were working together, but he's more of a little bit more radical than Nehemia, and that's
More of
why.
an extreme.
Yeah,
And then that symbol
Yes.
that they try to warn her about that he had on him. What was it?
yeah,
Like
tattoo.
tattoo. And I was like, oh my goodness.
Have we met anyone else from her past?
No, besides Arberin, no,
No.
and Sam. But these are just mentions.
Yeah.
No, there's one specific person I'm thinking about, but I don't know when they come in.
Now she's scared to
Yeah.
say it because she spoiled stuff in another podcast and she didn't remember.
It was
Yeah.
not a big spoiler being like, we're going to
Yeah.
meet this person, name this.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I also think the king's secret weapons. Well, I wonder what the weapon is, but I wonder if it's also a weapon in reference to like an army of these kind of undead. Because in the first book, we have the king going to the mountains with all these soldiers and not coming back with them, right?
Yeah.
And this zombie-like creature is described as being kind of partly human heart or whatever. And I think it might have been the first kind of experiment, right? When he made the clock tower or something. And I think the clock tower is made out of obsidian because it's described as black rock.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that's what I think his secret weapon or the weapons he's been working on for a while is that kind of army of undead
Dead
creatures.
soldiers.
Right. Because they were hard to kill. Like, so it took Selena and Dorian and they barely killed it too.
Yeah, it was a lot. That's what I thought in the first book. Like where they didn't know where he was and he came back and all these like soldiers were dead and I was like he is building an army and he's just using magic somehow. Like I kind of had a thought that he was doing that anyway. And now that this happened, it kind of confirms what I'm thinking. Like he's building an army. He's doing something to just wipe out everyone and take over.
I
And
keep looking at
something,
Dani to see if her face changes, but she's like,
and we know he has wyverns too.
Or he's absorbing their
"Wyvern."
spirits, something like that.
What do you mean, like the
Or
wyverns?
no, like the people, like like
Oh,
sacrificing.
like sacrificing them to take
Yeah.
their essence or something? Yeah, maybe. But he has well, they're not dragons, they're wyverns because they have two legs. But he has them, and then Lady Caltaine always talking about wing beats. So
Up.
I don't know. Do the undead ride the wyverns? I don't know. Then we have a whole Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I have a question that maybe Dani might not be able to answer. So in Assassin's Blade, there's really no like movement of the story, right? We're just getting like background on characters. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It is the story of Sam and Selena.
Okay.
So we're actually not going to be moving forward in this story when we read Assassin's Blade.
So can we
Okay.
skip it? This is another
No.
question. Like Frost and Starlight, can we skip it?
No, you can't even skip Frost and
We have
Starlight.
committed to reading it at this point. We are not skipping it. It starts.
No, I know. But just
No,
like when
he's
we
saying,
ask,
do you
I'm
think you
asking in
could?
general.
I have a
Like,
friend that did the whole series and did not read Assassin's Blade, and she's actually going to join us.
Yeah, it's like a
now.
prequel, so you don't have to read it. We are not skipping it, but no, you do not have to read it to understand the whole story. We're reading it at this point because now you know the characters in play.
okay.
But no, you do not actually have to read it
And then I know some people like start off reading that.
because it's
And-
technically a prequel.
Yeah.
So we opted to not do that because we put it in the place that Sarah J. Maas also recommends it. And it's just that, like, for me, like when you're reading like a prequel, I want to know like the world I'm in already because they're not going to do all of that like world building that you get in book one. So you're kind of like lost in the like where it's at, who these characters are.
Right.
So that's why we're doing it at this spot because you're like, okay, I already heard about Sam, so I have a little backstory on him. We know the world they live in. So I think it's an easier read when you have that information already going in.
Some people said that reading it before could spoil things. Is that true?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I guess we'll find out when we read it.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
I think
after we
Angel
read it.
already
I feel
started
like-
it.
I feel like
I did, but I'm only in chapter 2.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Yeah.
feel like a prequel would spoil things.
No, some people. I that was like one of the things that like when you find 8,000 videos on what order to read it in.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that was mentioned was that it could potentially spoil things. And if you're saying that it's about like Sam and Selena, then really all it would spoil would be the characters' names, really.
We will answer that question after we read it.
Okay. She's like, you're getting off topic. I need to bring you back.
Yeah,
Wow,
I'm
caught up in it.
interested to
Thank you.
see that Sam and Selena's relationship. And like if Sam knew about who she was, like or he just knew her as Selena. Like I'm wondering at what point in her life or
Not
like,
remembering much of Assassin's Blade, I feel like he only knew her as Selena.
Oh.
I feel like that's a secret she has kept for a very long time, no matter who you were.
Well, wait, hold on.
That's a dangerous
Arberyn knew it.
secret.
Doesn't Arberyn know it?
I don't think she told him. I think he figured it out because he found her.
Oh.
But
Archer did say Arberyn told me or told us or something like that. He had said, so we like at least when she was gonna kill him, Archer was like, no, you could come back or whatever, and we know. Wasn't it in that whole scene? I have to go back and reread it, but I feel like Archer was saying
disclosed that information. I think his level of knowledge is because he is the one that like took her in when she was very young, but I feel like that is a secret she has kept very close to the chest because it could have ended her life at any time.
Well, who's everybody's favorite character now, currently?
Still a Kale girly through and through.
I like Kale, but like I like Selena even more now. I like her
Yeah.
even more. I feel like the development, even though like we saw her obviously like she lost it when Nehemia died, but just like how she described Nehemia, like it really like made me sad. I really just like seeing more emotion from her, and getting like, you know, all this information that she is royalty, she's Fae to whatever extent. So I like her a lot more. So her and Kale are like still my top two.
Mort.
Mort. Of course,
I
of
love
course he was
Mort.
funny. He was definitely he was funny. I was like, you're so annoying, but I kind of like you.
Yeah.
You weird door knocker.
You need someone like Mort in your life.
He's like the
Yeah.
fun sidekick that can't actually go
Yeah.
anywhere.
Can't go anywhere.
I'm interested to see how Mort and Kale get along together. Because like I feel like they have to interact now. I don't
Oh,
know.
because yeah.
Hmm. I'm interested to see because he's so like Kale is so like black and white about things, and he kind of has like no emotion at first until you get to know him. And Mort likes to like have those little jabs and make comments. So I'm interested to see how they're gonna work together.
And if Dorian and Kale will work together, because Kale right now is the only one who knows about the king's plan, the keys, the gates. And all Dorian knows is about the clock tower underneath, right? Like he doesn't know much about. She didn't tell Dorian anything about it
I'm here like thinking. Next
because
time
she
we gotta
didn't.
do these like
Right.
much sooner. I
Well, we just got to finish the book at the same time,
been
I
like a
guess.
whole month.
Yeah, but it's like I'm trying to think about at the end of the book, Selena tells him, "Go look at this like lineage, and that's how you
Yeah.
can find out about me." And oh, by the way, the king's has all this, right? But Dorian doesn't know anything about this because Selena, I don't know. I feel like Selena thinks Dorian's loyal to the crown, but I
I
think
don't think
Dorian,
that's what it is.
I don't know. Well, I don't think Dorian, I think Kale's more loyal to the crown than Dorian is.
I think so too, but because Dorian is a descendant, I think she has to be very careful because he's also watched a lot closer. And
Okay.
I think it's more of a danger to be telling secrets to the son of the king.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I guess so. He's
He's
the
like,
one
I
dreaming about.
guess.
Oh, he's the one dreaming. He's the one having the dreams with Gavin too, and knows about the tapestry. And
But she doesn't know that.
Yeah.
he didn't. Oh yeah, he didn't tell her, huh?
All she knows is that he has some sort of
Powers.
magic.
Yeah.
He has Superman powers too when he sealed that door.
Right.
With his eyes.
Like laser vision.
Laser vision. Like, what is this?
And close the portal, which is interesting, right? Because it doesn't work. Like I thought to close the portals close on their own after some time, but this one, like Dorian can open and close portal, or sorry, can close portals. Maybe he can open them too, right? Because the clock tower was built on his birth.
Yeah.
We don't know. So
He has a lot more, he might have a lot more powers and like abilities than he even
Nehemia never got to like tell him anything, right? Because she dies
No.
before.
She
Because
just tapped him on his
I
chest.
remember that line where he was like, when it's time, I'll help you.
Yeah.
Right.
And then that's like when he felt something, ancient wake up inside of him. And I was like, oh, and then when she died, I was like, damn.
I wonder how, like maybe I missed it, but how did Nehemia, like how is she aware of all of this? Like literally all of it. She knew about
Well, she was living there, right? So I think she had like insider information.
Well, I think it's also because she comes from a land that still
Magical.
understands magic.
Mhm.
So whereas people who live in this land who know magic is gone but have never experienced it don't understand it at all. Where she comes from a culture where there is an understanding and a passing down of knowledge, which is banned where they are. Whereas, like, because I think they talk about like the libraries and how like all the knowledge of magic was destroyed. Whereas
Right.
where she's from, there's still access to that knowledge.
Right.
Knowledge
So
is
she knew
power,
about
man.
Knowledge is power.
Go to your libraries. Don't burn books.
Yes, please. Nehemia, yeah. I did enjoy Nehemia, but yeah. R.I.P. Nehemia.
I really thought, I was like Angel said, I thought it wasn't real. I was hoping it wasn't real.
Yeah. She was too cool, and then she went too quickly.
And now she's gone.
And and the portals, they say they open portals to different worlds, but it sounds like the portal that she opened, like she was trying to contact Nehemia specifically, but she just opened it up to what? Some dark world?
To just another world and not the afterlife.
But then she told her, like, don't do this. Like,
Yeah, like nobody has the right to open up to this world, though, or to do what you're trying to do, I guess, is what
Oh,
she's
yeah,
saying.
she's trying to contact the dead.
Right.
yeah. She's like, don't do this anymore.
Yeah.
That's when I realized, oh, maybe she really is dead.
Yeah, that's when I realized she
like,
is dead.
oh,
I was
no,
like,
not
oh,
a
no.
real.
This is not
I was
just
like,
for
she's not
plot.
coming back. I was like, no. Because I really liked her. I did like her, and I was like, damn.
I had
She's
I had a spoiler from the video recap I watched for the first book, and it was a spoiler.
What was it?
It
but
was
wait,
about
is it
it
going
was
to
about-
spoil something ahead, or it was in this
it was
book?
about the dog. It was
Oh, about the dog getting hurt?
It was about the dog, yeah. And I got there, and it didn't have the same impact as it would have had if I didn't know.
Fleetfoot. We love Fleetfoot.
Yeah.
Stupid
Oh, I
name.
love
My God. But that
Yeah.
dog is smart.
Why is it a stupid name?
It sounds like a dumb name.
Fleetfoot. Come here,
It means
Fleetfoot.
he's fast.
I don't know. I hate the name.
Who's watching the dog for her again?
Dorian.
Dorian's watching the
Not
dog.
Kale.
Mhm.
With the rest of his dogs.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we haven't seen the end of Fleetfoot.
I hope.
No, I thought he was gonna die too, and I was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
not cool. Like,
that would have been a lot.
you can't kill you already killed your best friend. You can't kill
Yeah.
the dog.
I was so sad for the dog. The dog was waiting for Nehemia.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know.
Oh my goodness.
When he's like wagging his tail, like, and she was talking to the dog, like, no, don't come here. The dog was like, okay, I'll listen to you. Not this one. She don't know what she's doing.
This Fleetfoot, because they described Fleetfoot in the first book as like bigger than the other dogs, like different, like they didn't know
What he was mixed with, because he's not
Yeah.
pure blood.
Is Fleetfoot gonna like morph into something?
She's not gonna tell you, even if he did.
Oh,
No, Fleetfoot's just a dog.
He's
Oh.
just a dog. Yes,
not
he's gonna
anything
grow
supernatural.
wings.
He is just a mixed
no, but
breed
like
dog.
you know, like we're gonna have some like Professor Lupin.
No,
Yeah.
no, Fleetfoot is just a dog.
It's just a dog. Now you spoiled it. Now Shanell, all her dreams are crushed because you told her that Fleetfoot's
not gonna look up
turn
a
into
picture
something
now.
else.
I'm not gonna look up a picture now.
Fleetfoot's just a dog.
I'm wondering what plans the king has, or Parrington or whatever, of people with magical blood, because it was Cain from the mountains, it was Caltaine, who has a magical bloodline going back, and it's Roland, who's his cousin, right? And what does their blood have to do with anything? Oh, blood ties can't be broken. Never mind. I don't know, but I don't know. There's something.
I love watching
unique.
Angel like
Yeah, I love watching him think.
he's like, no, never mind. I was asking a question, but it's not.
I don't know. I'm thinking, like, what do you guys think about why they need to have, or it has to be some magical blood? Like, do they need to? My question is, do they need to like kill? Like, did Cain have to die to for them to be able to do something. Does that make sense? Like, do they
Like
need
if
to
he was like a
spill magic?
sacrifice.
Right. Like, do they need to spill magical blood specifically to be able to exert some sort of power or thing that they're trying to
Considering
do?
they were trying to get Kane to survive.
I'd say no, right?
Oh.
Right, but Kaltain has other, like, they have plans for her in another way, and then also Roland also has the ring, so it's not like he's so much of a sacrifice as he is like an ally to them. So I don't know.
You won't figure it out.
Yeah,
You
I
will-
probably won't.
Never?
You will by the end of
Oh,
the series.
Oh, okay. I was like,
This-
what?
you
I'm
will
done.
she just means you won't guess.
I will be impressed if y'all figure it out. Yeah.
The ties
reason.
between Roland, Kaltain, Kane.
or just why they need royal magical blood, or not royal, but
In
magical blood
general. In
in general.
general.
Why
In
they need
general.
magical blood?
So what you're saying is none of my theories are ever going to come to be because
I
they're
mean, your
always gonna
theories
be
are
wrong.
wild, so sometimes you might be
I
right.
know. I'm just
You get some
Dorian's twin
wild
brother.
theories.
Maybe Dorian does have a twin,
Yep.
and that
I
twin
was-
that twin
let me tell
sacrifice was
you,
how they made the clock tower.
when they killed that thing, I was like, well, there goes my theory. Because I mean, if it's true, then wow,
Dorian
talk
doesn't
about
have a
trauma.
twin, he just has a brother.
That
was
brother's
like,
an ass, though.
It's
Yeah,
gotta
that
be.
little boy is crazy.
Yeah.
He gives Joffrey vibes, right?
Yes.
Yes.
100%. 100%.
What'd you say?
There's a reason.
There's a
Mm.
reason.
I hope not. I hope it's not Joffrey.
Ooh. It's because it's not his. It's not a real bloodline one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would make sense, though.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. But yeah, I know my theories are like out there, but what about if they're correct?
You know, see, that's the thing
like-
is yours are wild enough. I'm like, one of these days she's gonna have like the craziest theory and it's gonna be fact.
Yeah, I was actually Christina, the Half-Blood reader, when I was reading it, she was like talking to me about something and I was like, "Oh, I'm almost done with Crown of Midnight," and she had already finished it. So she was like, "Oh, I was like, and I have like this theory, but the thing is that it's driving me crazy that people that have already read it know that I'm wrong, but they can't tell me that I'm." So she went back and listened to it and she was like, wow, like I had some crazy theories too. Like, so I went back and watched her highlight and she didn't think that Dorian had a twin brother, but she did have some crazy ones too. So I was disappointed because I thought for sure that was it.
And we know that Baba Yellowlegs' tribe and witches, those still exist. Like, she wasn't the last one. She was like the last,
She was
I guess,
the
sort of leader.
head of the Yellow Leg tribe.
Right. So I still, there's, and it almost sounds like the king knew her previously. Like, he said, "Oh, I meant to go visit her, like to say what's up or something." Right. So like there's some sort of, but he found her slain. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. And so the king is completely oblivious to who can open up weird gates besides himself. Right.
Weird gates.
And even then, I don't know if he said, well, no, because if he knew that Cain could, because they're all in cahoots together. But so I'm wondering if the king can as well. Maybe that's who it is. Maybe you need magical blood to be able to open up the weird gates. Right? That's why Selena could do it. That's why Cain could do it. That's why they need Kaltain, and
Danny's like,
let
me readjust.
me read.
The
So-
witches will
Yeah.
return. You'll find more out about the witches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just concerning to me that there's so many books and how wrong we could be.
The witches are gonna come back. I wonder which
Yeah,
one.
they have to come back.
Yeah, there's 3 tribes of witches.
And they have to figure out what happened to Baba Yellowlegs. Like,
Right.
they're not just gonna have their leader like disappear or die like that and not want revenge or answers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a character that you all have probably seen their names who is in the witch tribe. And I can't wait for you to meet them.
What did she say? We already know a witch that we didn't know.
Not from her, their name has not been mentioned in the books,
Oh.
but from general talking to people and the gram, I know at least Paula knows their name.
Oh.
Paula. Who do you know, Paula? List the
I don't
characters'
know.
names you know.
Paula, name all the
Archer,
names you
Nahimi.
know.
All the names I know. I know that in chapter 6 there was 6 new names in that one chapter. I have them written down on Fable, but I was like, how am I supposed to remember all these things?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm wondering where all these people that she let go end up hiding if they all go to or not Elway. What's the Edelin, or where's she going? Gwendolyn. Yes, that's where
I
she's
didn't
going.
realize she already got to the boat in this book. Oof.
Yeah, that's the
at
end.
the
She's
end,
getting on the boat.
she's like, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is I think they're
I can't wait for you guys to read the next book.
are they distant relatives? I don't know.
Or who
It sounded like they were
relatives?
like Gwendolyn, because Gwendolyn is still Fae friendly or magic
Gwendolyn?
friendly. Yeah, Gwendolyn.
Can I Gwendolyn too?
It's the place she's going, the kingdom
No
she's going to.
G.
No
Oh, no
G.
G?
I don't think
With
that's
Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn with a
Gwendolyn.
W.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, who's this character? I forgot.
I don't
I was
know.
like, me too. I was like, who the F is this? This was not one of the 6 names.
Okay, so then in Gwendolyn though, isn't the royalty there like related to, aren't they like distant cousins or something? I think they're related.
Yes, there is
There's a tie.
lineage somewhere
Yes.
in there.
Right. So my point being that we got on this sidetrack is all these people she let go that she was trying to execute or assassinate for the king. Were they all allies of Gwendolyn or Aelin and Terrasen's kingdom? And are they eventually all coming back? Because she let them all go. I feel like they're all
I
going to
don't
end up
think they
coming
were all
back.
necessarily allies.
Okay. Well,
They
I was
may
just
now
curious
be
if
since they were all on the hit list. So,
right.
but we don't know the reasoning behind all of them on the hit list.
Do we learn?
I don't know. I feel like some of
Okay.
them don't actually matter to the story, except
Okay.
for the fact that she was an assassin.
Okay.
But
I don't know if they really mean anything. That's horrible. Because then you're like,
I'm ready for you to experience Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn.
Ooh.
We're gonna have to make a list of angel names.
Chalol.
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 It's
I'm really
Chalol.
excited for the next. I'm excited to read Assassin's Blade, but I really want to continue
The story.
this
Yeah.
story. Yeah.
So the one after Assassin's Blade is what?
Air of Fire.
Air of
Air
Fire.
of Dawn. Air of Fire.
I'm excited to do the tandem read.
Yeah,
I don't.
Air of Fire.
Oh wait, isn't that the tandem read? The next one after Assassin's Blade is the
No,
tandem
it's
read,
after.
right?
It's
No, it's
Empire
Queen of Shadows and Empire of
and Empire
no.
Storms.
No, we
No?
have 2 books. It's Tower of Dawn
Oh.
and Empire of Storms, I think.
Oh, okay. I'm excited for that.
I have Storms and Tower of Dawn, so including Assassin's Blade, we had 3 books until we hit the tandem read.
Oh man, that's so far.
We got some characters to meet.
Assassin's Blade, Air of Fire, and then the tandem.
No.
Yes? No?
No.
Did I miss it?
Assassin's Blade, Air of
Air of
Fire,
Fire.
Queen of Shadows, and then the tandem read.
Oh, and then the tandem. So the tandem read's the end?
There's one more
No.
book after the tandem read.
Oh.
Kingdom
King
of
of-
Ash.
Kingdom of Ash is the
Oh.
last one.
Is this series like the last book, Kingdom of Ash? Is that it? Like she's done with this series?
That we are aware of.
Well, it better be good. No.
I cried at
no
Kingdom
loose
of Ash.
ends. No
You
loose
cried?
ends.
Yeah.
We need a counter, Paula. We're gonna have to have a counter. Predictions and then a counter.
Oh my god. I'm very worried because if Dani cried,
Yeah, I'm not
Dani's not really a
either.
crier.
I'm not a crier either, so we'll see what happens.
I mean, I got teary when Nehemia died in this book. I didn't actually like cry.
I was shocked. I was like,
Mhm.
oh,
But I think for me, it was
cried.
because I really thought she was not dead.
No, you will cry at Kingdom of Ash.
Am I going to cry in Assassin's Blade? Somebody made a comment, and I was like, wait, is this a crying book?
Well, we know. I don't remember it well enough. I remember like the Throne of Glass chronological story a lot more than I do Assassin's Blade, but I'm not sure, like, because Sam does die. We already know that.
Right,
If
right.
that happens
Yeah.
in that book, probably you're gonna cry.
But they kind of told us kind of how it happened.
Yeah, but Paula's still gonna cry. Just because she
Yeah.
knows how doesn't mean she won't cry.
For me, the crying isn't just like
It
I
can-
don't people don't get it. I think people think that I'm like walking around life just crying all the time. I am not.
You are.
I have to have like some type of like
Emotional reaction.
emotional
Yeah.
attachment,
Yeah.
I
right?
almost cried
Like
last week in Disney Springs.
when you saw the TARDIS.
Yeah.
I did get teary-eyed when Lennon ran towards it today, but
That was
because I was like, oh, he like really he's
he's
like obsessed.
so
He's
cute.
obsessed.
predictions for the book after Assassin's Blade.
Oh, I don't have any. I'd have to
It's like
start
you're not going to
reading.
squash my dreams and my theories anymore.
Yeah.
I predict that you're going to fall in love with a bunch of new characters, and I'm so excited for you to meet.
In the next book, not Assassin's Blade.
And not Assassin's Blade.
In
And
the
you might fall in
story.
love with some of those characters, but they're kind of like they're a one book thing.
Oh,
series.
they're one-hit wonders.
Well, because it's a prequel, like
Yeah.
I feel like, are we calling her Selena? What are we calling her?
Aileen. She now is Aileen.
So I feel like she is going to explore like her freedom in a sense a little bit more. Even though she's still like working, I think it's a new world for her. So I'm excited to see like the people she meets, and if she does like get a little group together and try and take down the king.
I'm kind of thinking about the titles of the books. Like this one was Crown of Midnight, and I was trying to think about how that might relate to the Obsidian Clock Tower or the King or or her. And
Where
I'm
you
not
learn
sure
that
how.
she's royalty and has a crown.
Right. But why midnight? Right? Like why midnight? So
She goes in the dark passages at night.
yeah, she goes there you go. So I was trying to think about
everything
like
happens at midnight.
there you go. So I was thinking about Era of Fire. Is that where we learned that her powers? Because when she went in through the portal, she used lightning, right? Like she called down lightning. Like I thought of Thor, bringing down the hammer and rippling out lightning. Like I thought that was awesome. And or is it we learn more about Dorian's powers and that kind of magical line? I don't know, but
Air of
yeah,
fire. I don't know.
exactly. Yeah. So what? So I think it has more to do with Selena, but and it's gonna be weird too if they switch up like now that we know she's Aelin, at some point when everybody knows, is it just gonna switch over to Aelin said or the story, or is Sarah J. Maas still gonna be saying Selena did this? You know what I mean? Or does it switch to Aelin?
Wasn't it kind of like first person-ish? Or no, it's third, isn't it?
It's third person-ish, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. But
I guess
yeah,
it
I'm just
depends
ready
on
for more
who's
story.
talking about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, like is Kayal gonna call her Aelin now?
Yeah. Or your
Well, no, because they have to keep
your
it a
grace.
secret too. Because not everyone knows; only he knows.
Right. That's what I was saying. I'm thinking that we're still going to run into both.
I feel there's a lot of story left to go, and Kale's loyalties are, I don't know.
problem.
I think he's gonna F up really bad. Like he's already effed up.
I think he already did.
He already did, but I think he's gonna F up more. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how, but I don't think he's.
But he's leaving now, right? Wasn't he leaving to go back to Auntie M?
Yeah. He is, but he just like I think he's just too loyal, and I don't know why. Like apparently he doesn't like his dad, so why is he loyal to the crown? Like it doesn't make. I think he's loyal just because of Dorian. Like that seems to be the connection.
Yeah, and
What's
like
the
they
issue with the
accepted
crown?
him. They accepted him like in this thing he wanted to do, whereas his family didn't. So like,
yeah,
took care of him.
Okay.
But did they?
Yeah,
He's an
I don't know.
employee.
It's not. Yeah, I don't know. I think his loyalties are twisted, and I think
I
he's
have
gonna
a
mess up
feeling
royally.
because we found out Selena. Now that I'm thinking about it, we found out that she's really Aelin, right? She's
Mhm.
royalty. I feel this is a prediction. I feel like Dorian's gonna find out about his dad, or like maybe something on his mom's side. And he's gonna find out like maybe there's like names. Like, are you really Dorian or do you have another name? Is your
I
dad
have a question. Does the dad doesn't know he has powers?
Mm-mm, I don't think so.
Mm.
I just feel like we're gonna uncover like the real names, the real like tea.
We're
Where
gonna
did
get down to the
get his
nitty
power
gritty.
from?
I feel like there's too much to find out the nitty gritty. There's still too
Dorian is
much.
Dorian.
Dorian is Dorian.
Dorian does not have
Oh,
another
okay, so
name.
he doesn't have another name.
No,
Okay.
no.
What about his
But-
dad?
But he still might not be the king's dad, or or whatever, right? There was still that issue of his legitimacy given his eyes and the way they described him, and or maybe it was just the
I'm not
magic.
forward thinking like that.
Maybe it was just the magic that was swirling in his eyes. Who knows?
Frost.
Yeah,
Elsa.
exactly.
Or
Or
his dad's from one of these other places.
Mm. And that's what was locked down under the tower. And this
Like there's other
king-
worlds.
this king is actually an impersonator. Is that what you're thinking?
It's like a
like-
Zeus,
dun dun
Dun,
dun.
dun.
Zeus would hide who he is. Something like that, like Greek mythology coming in. They're
So you're
hiding.
thinking, wait, so are you thinking the king is an impersonator and his father was actually the one trapped under the tower because of the twisted magic?
Possibly.
Mm.
And he killed his own dad?
Accidentally? He didn't know.
That's worse than the twin.
That would be
You know-
traumatic, imagine.
Yeah. But it'd be traumatic.
You
Danny's
killed
not turning
your own
off her
father.
camera. Danny's not
I know.
turning off
I
her
keep
camera,
looking at
so-
her. I am staring at her like
And
I'm
she's not
straining
turning off
my
her camera
face so
anymore.
so you guys don't know something's up if I turn off my camera. Because when I turn off
Oh.
my camera, you know there's
And then
something. So I'm
We,
trying
Do you
to-
see?
we have to dive deeper into the rings and like this little like thing they have.
why they cause a headache and why they
yeah, like I'm
stifle
still
magic?
unsure, and maybe I missed it, but I'm unsure. Is this for are the rings for protection or for like evil control?
Or, or a conduit for magic?
like what is it?
Yeah.
Loyalty.
Loyalty?
I don't know. I think it's like a conduit for magic. It might be. I feel like it's a little Sauron
Because the rings
kind of thing.
are obsidian, right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so's the clock tower.
Right.
So I don't know.
What is obsidian? What is obsidian?
I don't know.
It's-
Every time I
it's a black
read the
rock.
word
It's
obsidian, I
it's
thought about
it's the black
Minecraft.
rock, like lava rock. Well, like very.
It's the
Glassless.
strongest block in Minecraft.
It's
And
one
you
of
know-
the characters in a really good series about dragons.
I wish I had
A really
read.
good series about dragons.
I have to remember the name of it.
I remember if the the poem of where the map of where the weird keys are. Like the first one, it was very obvious was there at the clock tower, right? Or like somewhere in there, right? I guess it wasn't in the clock tower, but it said like it alluded to the tomb. And now I'm trying to think about reading the other two. I wonder where they're going to be at. I don't know. I have to remember the poem, but I don't remember it off the top of
Oh.
my head.
I looked up obsidian and it said that some cultures believe that specific individuals, like those with negative energies or unsolved emotions, might not benefit from wearing black obsidian. So, like the headaches that
Oh,
having.
See, I would never look something like that. I don't think like that. Like Angel thinking about the titles of the next books, nothing. I got nothing. Like that is not, I have to be in it and form my own crazy theory about whatever. But I have never looked at the titles and said, maybe this means something, or look up something.
So Tower
Like
of
that,
Dawn
like-
is about a tower at dawn.
Oh, yeah, never. I never looked at them and
Never
thought
would've-
this means something.
Well, there's so much obsidian, right? Like it's the rings, it's it's in the tower. So I just figured it's helping them do something where it's meaningful to them in a way. So that's what it's supposed to do, and that's maybe why Caltaine has these crazy headaches.
Paltane.
Yeah.
well, that's right. It gave Caltaine headaches, but it doesn't give Dorian headaches that we know.
But it gave Roland, right? Roland wasn't feeling well or something like that. And one of the
Yeah, I
things
think
that
so.
think-
You're
and he
right.
was wearing
Yeah,
a ring.
Right. So it gives them headaches, but it doesn't, and it gives Selena headaches, but it doesn't give the king headaches, and it doesn't give Parrington headaches that we know of.
Well, maybe it's because they don't have like real powers.
Hmm.
Other ones do.
Oh, so their magic is just borrowed, where the other ones are
Maybe.
stifled?
Maybe.
Dun dun dun.
Uh,
Danny, really, let me tell you, Danny, your practiced face is amazing.
yeah, good job. She's not
Good
turning
job.
off
She
her
didn't black
camera.
screen us once today,
Right.
She
but
didn't hide.
I've had my eye on her the whole time.
I know, I've been seeing you, Paula. She's like,
I'm like, an angel just commits to the mispronunciation of words. He is not giving up.
It's just the weird gates. Everything else is
Word.
fine.
Word.
It's fine. It's
Is
like
it?
rice sand.
Hi, rice sand.
don't
Right.
do that.
Don't do that.
Otterland is my favorite.
Otterland is,
Otterland.
yeah.
So, for those of you that have not joined us yet over on Fable, we started Assassin's Blade on June 3rd. So, feel free to come and join us. Then, after that, we will be going to Queen of Shadows. So, you can find all the links at all of our podcast things, or just message us. We'll send it to you. Paula has another book club.
I do. I don't know if it has like a real it's on Fable. I called it Paula's Book Buddies because I it wasn't really like themed. It was kind of just going to be whatever I'm reading. So I just finished reading It's in His Kiss, which is the 7th Bridgerton book, which I really liked, by the way. I mean, it's no Francesca, but I really liked it. It was a very good, like, quick read. It was very bantery, which I loved.
Did they pass notes?
Huh?
Did they pass
They
notes?
did not pass notes, but there's like a little bit of like a kind of like mystery type thing, which I really liked. Um, but yeah, I really liked it.
Well, going off
So yeah,
of that,
yes, please.
why don't we? Because we always like talk about book recommendations, but some of us aren't reading other books, or some of us just aren't doing other things. What have you watched, read, seen, are interested in coming out? That is coming out. What recommendations do you have? Like, if you've seen anything good, like Paula, obviously Bridgerton.
Yeah, Bridgerton.
Like, what do you
June 13th.
recommend for people to consume right now?
I am really into like Star Wars and House of the Dragon.
Oh, I'm
Yep.
excited.
I was
am
just gonna say.
so
Matt Smith.
excited. I'm so excited for this show. Just seeing the clips that we've seen already. Queen Rhaenyra all the way.
I haven't seen any clips or anything, but I
Are you
did
like
rewatch.
avoiding them?
No, actually, I just haven't seen
Okay.
them.
Oh,
But
okay.
I have rewatched. I rewatched Game of Thrones because I knew it was coming. So I rewatched Game of Thrones and then House of Dragon. Just finished it a couple days ago in preparation for when does it come out? The 16th of June.
Yeah, it's 3 days
Yeah.
after the second part of Bridgerton.
Yes. Oh my God.
Whoever
Okay, and
did that, thank you.
second part of Bridgerton. Waiting for that too. It was great. It was too easy for Colin. Colin needed to grovel
I
more.
agree. I agree.
Colin needed to grovel more, but
But I think there's more coming, so I feel
yeah,
like those next 4 are gonna be.
yeah, they're gonna be good. But yeah, consume Bridgerton and House of Dragon.
Star Trek Discovery just ended the series this past week.
Like forever, it's done.
Discovery is done.
Okay.
We do know we will be getting Academy, which we're believing is having one of the characters from Discovery as the lead of that. Strange New Worlds should be back somewhat soon. And then Lower Decks will be finishing its series run this year also.
Didn't realize there was so many Star Trek things. I think I've said this before. I haven't watched Star Trek since William Shatner was on.
You missed the good stuff. I will rave about Strange New Worlds. I'm so excited for it to come back. It's so good. So good.
Maybe we can get Lennon on that.
I also recommend Butterfly in the Sky is on Netflix now. It is the Reading Rainbow documentary.
Oh,
It's very good.
Reading Rainbow.
I love Reading Rainbow. And LeVar Burton, who was also on Star Trek.
I do know that.
Was.
He actually was on Star Trek and Reading Rainbow at the same time. So he was on Reading Rainbow first, and then he got the role in Star Trek, and he thought he would have to leave Reading Rainbow, but they made it work because he loved being on Reading Rainbow so much for him to do both.
Oh, I love that.
I do too.
But yeah, consumption-wise, I'm only like literally consuming books right now.
Yeah,
And
Doctor
Bridgerton.
Who.
number one.
And Doctor Who. I am watching Doctor Who.
I love that
now
the
I'm
reason that you
forced
continue to watch it is your child.
Yeah, he's like, we gotta, are we gonna watch Doctor? He won't leave me alone. I don't know if you've seen it in my stories, but like sometimes I'll be reading and he'll stand there. Is the chat? And I'll be like, let me just finish this chapter and then we can go watch it. Is the chapter done yet? I was like, if you keep stopping me, it's not gonna be done. Like, just give me a minute. Last night at 2:00 in the morning, because during the summer I let them stay up. He was like, can we watch Doctor Who? I was like, dude, it's 2 a.m. No, I won't make it. I'll fall asleep. So I was
Don't watch the midnight, don't blink, or midnight late at night, please.
okay. I wonder if that's like next. Is that in the first?
No, those are both in
okay.
the David Tennant season.
Okay.
But
I also like to watch anime, and I found this like random anime on Netflix. It's called Blood of Zeus. It is not like Greek mythology, like what we know. Like they kind of switch the characters and sort of things around, but it is so action packed, and my son and I are watching it together. So if you like anime and Greek mythology, and you're okay with them switching the stories around, like I definitely recommend this anime. It's so good.
Right. Jude is watching One Piece right now, like the anime, not the live action.
One Piece is so long. There's so many episodes.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
yeah, Madi is a huge One Piece fan.
Yeah.
I like Sailor Moon.
I did watch Sailor Moon in like high school.
I re-binged it during COVID.
I need to re-binge. I love Sailor Mars. She's my fave.
All right, where can we find everyone?
Well, my
Shanell,
name's Shanell. You can find me on Instagram. I'm also on Fable. I'm in the group with the Throne of Glass series. I also have a Goodreads account, all fandom gal. And you'll see me posting like different fandom things, Bridgerton, House of the Dragon. I love my books. I love my shows, and that's the content you'll get from me. And happy Pride again.
Woo!
We're all enjoying Pride.
My name's Angel, and you can find me at Wizard of Main Street on Instagram and Twitch. And hopefully, summer's coming up, so I'll be able to play more. But I'm also, I think I'm going to try and get on this Doctor Who train too with Paula. So I'm going to try and watch the new one, and then we'll see. I'll have a little bit more time on the summer, so hopefully I can make it work.
I'm so excited.
But I might also read ahead. That's the thing is now that I have the time, I might fly
You have to
through
be careful.
the series.
You have to be careful. If you spoil something and you're
I
done.
know. I'm gonna try. I know. So I don't know. We'll see. If
I'm so
Assassin's Blade is
excited.
kind of meh, but if Air of Fire is good, and then the next, and I can't. I don't know. No promises.
No promises.
No promises to wait.
I'm very excited to have new Whovians. I have liked Doctor Who for a very long time. Like, I have more Doctor Who cosplays than I do Harry Potter cosplays.
Nice.
So, and I need to bring my Doctor Who shelf back. It was retired for a little because I didn't have any new content.
I want all the new Doctor's outfits. All his outfits are freaking amazing. I'm like, this guy, I love him.
Oh, good.
So me, you can find at Unconceivable on Instagram and TikTok, and Paulita's World on Fable. One day I'll have all the same name for everything, but maybe not. I don't know. Oh, Twitch too. I haven't streamed in a while, but the summer is here now, so I might actually have time again.
Oh, I was streaming. Well, I wasn't streaming on. I was playing video games right before we jumped on here. That's gotta get those tasks done for Dreamlight Valley.
I know I only have 9 days left, and I'm
I
not.
realized that. I
close.
was like, oh, gotta get these in. So
Angel
you
already
can find
finished.
me at Mandrakes and Mischief on the gram, and then the podcast is Creating Magic Podcast. You can find us on Fable, Pinterest, LTK, TikTok, Instagram, at Literary Ink this summer in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And maybe some other places. It's in the works. We'll get back to you. So until next time.
Keep creating.